Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Waffle Press Movie Podcast. I am your host, Diego Crespo. I got a special guest with us here today. You can't see him because we don't have cameras, but
one day
it's Kirk the Corgi.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Thanks, you guys, for having Kirk on the podcast.
You have literally said that since the first episode. 3 years ago, you said the same thing.
We'll get him. We'll have him eventually.
You know what? This is
They're like the dragons in Game of Thrones.
This is a promise that I haven't seen yet.
No.
No, dragons in Game of Thrones we got. Cameras we haven't.
Yeah.
No, they were baby dragons.
But as Kirk's spokesman, he is very happy to be here.
And Kirk's spokesman is, of course, my awesome co-host from RFC and a plethora of other podcasts we've done together, PJ Campbell.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. This is really exciting. I haven't actually been able to come down here until now, which is amazing.
Well, I am so happy to finally have you in studio.
Yes,
Thank
me
you for
too.
coming.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
You're never this excited when I come.
No, I know. I've known you for years. I don't care anymore.
It hurts.
You've known me for years, but you just don't see me as often.
Yeah, that's true. I can
hurts.
see this guy like when everyone's like, hey Nick. Hello.
It still hurts. I love you.
Say hi, Nick.
Hi
is
everybody.
your
How's it
intro.
going? Hey everybody, how's it going?
That's Nick.
My throat's
Nick.
my throat's a little bit messed up, but it works. It
okay.
works. I think it sounds more distinguished.
No, it sounds
No?
really bad.
Sure.
You should leave the episode. Then over in the corner we got Gene.
Hey, how's it going?
Fuck you, Gene.
Gene, you just got back from Star Wars Celebration. How does that feel?
I caught up on my sleep. I'm not jet lagged. It feels pretty.
Jet-lagged.
Yeah.
Really? From Florida?
We're just coming back and like a kid puked in the front
Jesus.
right in front of us.
I don't
Wait,
know.
like
I
on
wouldn't-
the plane?
People. Yeah, on the plane.
Oh,
So,
that plane
I'm-
must have smelled great.
Yeah. So
That plane must be
but
awesome.
besides the plane, everything was cool. We got to see a lot of cool stuff. We saw the Last Jedi trailer. We weren't in the panel, but it's streamed live, and the energy in the room was pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool. Did you get to see anything else besides Last Jedi
Oh, we went.
trailer? or
Yeah,
anything
we
else?
went to the Rebels panel
Nice.
where they announced it was going to be the last season.
I know,
so
I cried.
yeah,
I
but
should probably catch up on the last two. Huh?
Yeah, you probably should because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Gene, I know that this is the first time we finally got to hang out, but fuck you for going to Celebration.
Hold on.
Sorry, man.
Honestly,
I know,
that's the entire reason the entire time I've been like, fuck you, Gene.
No, I'm just saying because
That's the whole reason.
It looked like it was a great time. The last
Yeah.
time I went was when it was in Anaheim. I didn't
Okay.
get to go last year. I didn't get to go this year. But, I mean, it looked like at least this year, from what I could see, they actually upped their game compared to last year, which is fantastic.
They did, but I hate to be a downer, but there were some snags. I don't know if
There's
heard of
always
them.
snags.
You
at
know what,
cons,
but-
bro.
But it was
at a con,
it wasn't Lucasfilm. It was more ReedPop.
Was it? It was just the Lions, wasn't it? I heard like there was a lot of problems with the Lions.
Yeah, there was. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm just.
No. It's
That
good
happens
to
at
be
any con.
honest. I mean,
Yeah.
every time we go do episodes about cons, it always becomes, well, what were the cons in the
Oh,
con?
yeah.
Because there's always things that happen regardless.
Honestly,
you
I
know?
think it was which one? I think even Anime Expo has the same thing.
Right.
E3 is a
Yeah.
nightmare. If you ever been, if anybody's
I
ever been to
haven't-
E3,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare being in a line there.
But
what was it?
So
People rush in when the doors open and like stampede and just knock people over.
Right.
And
That's
they're going
Comic-Con every year,
Yeah,
too.
Comic Con every.
Yeah,
That's
it was-
Comic Con
it
when
was-
you're trying to get
yeah.
like all the booths and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
like that.
Oh, dude.
People get stomped
Right.
on, everything like that. It's terrible.
Yeah.
There's other.
At
Yeah.
the pop panel,
Yes.
everyone will just kill each other
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I'll just say like the thing with ReedPop is apparently they came in late or something. They were understaffed. They weren't telling people that you had to have wristbands for panels. They
Really?
didn't tell press. There was stuff we RSVP'd for.
And they wouldn't let you in.
They let us in, but we had to wait. They were like, "Oh,
That's
we
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
it
is
was-
nuts. Because a lot of
we-
times, if you just have a press badge, they usually just go like, "All right, go
yeah.
right on ahead."
They were like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just gave us more hoops to jump through, and it was just
Well, it also could just be because it's Lucasfilm
yeah.
too. Like maybe they put these like last minute things like
Right.
like
Yeah,
protocols.
and it wasn't just press. There was just stuff. I don't know if you guys heard about the first day, but it was like there was only one entrance for everyone to get in. We didn't. We
Yeah,
didn't
it
go in
sounds
first.
about right.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a nightmare.
But they were like they didn't have any place for anyone that was handicapped. Everyone.
Wow.
What?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah, no.
I didn't
There
know
was
that.
there was
That's
a
not
guy
cool.
that we were on the airport with. He's like, "Oh, did you like Celebration?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was good with some bumps." He's like, "I'll tell you." It's like
God.
He's like, "I'm in a wheelchair. I just had a stroke." It's like I had to wait in the sun, and I'm telling them, it's like you better put people that are in like handicap or something, give them a room or something.
Well, they're supposed to. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter what convention you go to. There's always supposed to be some sort of handicap section.
Yeah,
there's
there's-
always something.
There's usually like a room.
So
or
it was
like
just
That's a big oversight.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just ReedPop just really dropped the ball.
yeah, they were like, oh my god, Last Jedi. Wait, what?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but you guys weren't in the line for Last Jedi, right?
No,
Like, the
no,
entire
we
thing?
got in Thursday night. So.
Okay.
Well, it's technically too late already by then.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
you guys could have like ran right over and tried to get it. Because I know that for when we were at Comic-Con, in order to get into Hall H, you had to line up at 8:00 at night.
Oh,
the
yeah.
day
Dude,
before. The day before.
Yeah, that's
And sleep
actually
there. And sleep there.
last year when I went. Diego was actually with us for a little bit. We were
Hey.
hanging out at Comic Con. You didn't go into the convention because you didn't have a badge,
Yeah.
but you were with us.
You could have called
Legally, I could not have
No,
gone.
legally you could not have gone.
I
but
did try to call you, Nick. Don't even.
we had Andy with us, who's our other co-host on Real Film Chatter, and we were between going to the Marvel panel or going to whatever the new Adam Wingard movie was. At the time, we didn't know it was Blair Witch.
Yeah.
It was still called The Woods, and we were like, dude, I don't want to sleep in line all night. So we ended up going to see what ended up being the reveal of Blair Witch, which was actually really fantastic.
That's
so
really
I take
cool.
that. Yes, I know you were jealous. You were not there, Kirk.
I know. I got to Comic-Con the day after when everybody was
Okay.
already going like the Woods is actually Blair Witch Project, and everybody was
Yeah.
going over everything else. I spent a lot of time over in the Rick and Morty
That
section.
makes sense.
Oh,
Adult
yeah, that
Swim
place was awesome.
and Adult Swim
Yeah.
area and everything
was-
else. That was
They
all really
always
cool.
go all out every year.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then also the South Park area and everything else. Because I mean, Comic-Con last year had so many problems too. I mean, I had to go to the restroom.
It's every year, man.
I had to go to the restroom, and they wouldn't let me out of line, so that way I can go to the bathroom.
That's like I said, that's every
Yeah.
year with them. It's never any
One
different.
of the guys actually told me, because I said I have to go to the restroom, and he goes, "Well, you're gonna have to hold it," and I go, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom in the line if that's the case." And the guy was like, "Oh, you got to do what you got to do, man."
God.
And so what I did is I was like, "All right, fine," and I walked out of line. I walked all the way to the other side to where another security guard was, and I was like, "Hey, man, I need to go to the restroom," and he goes, "Oh yeah, go ahead." And he let me out, and I passed right by that same security guard, and he's like, "How'd you get out?"
That
And
is-
I'm like, "All right, bye," and I just walked away, and I went to the bathroom, came back, went to that same security guard that I left, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just left," and he goes, "Oh yeah, go right on ahead."
man, fuck that guy.
Yeah, like
whatever.
the guy in the front, he was like, "Oh well, my boss is there. We're not supposed to let you out." I'm like, I just need to go to the restroom, dude. I don't care.
This guy
People are ridiculous.
gave me a 20 to cut in line in front of me to go to the bathroom at Comic-Con.
Wow.
Really?
What?
Yeah,
Because he was like, dude, I gotta go. Here, I'll give you 20. And I was gonna be like, no, the good part of me was like, oh, just go ahead. But then I was like, I don't, $20.
$20.
Sure.
So you took the 20, right?
I took the 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the
I
greatest
paid for my
things-
beer.
I can't blame you for
One
that.
of the
Yeah.
greatest things, I had to go to the bathroom really bad on the last day, and what was it? There was a bathroom behind this like roped up area, and my badge was flipped, and I went up to the security guard and I'm like, "Hey, can I go to that bathroom right there?" And they were like, "No, sorry, you can't." And I flipped it back and I was like, "I'm an exhibitor." She goes, "Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want." and I started walking, and one of my buddies was right behind me, and he walked up and he had an attendee, and she was like, "Sorry, you can't go through."
Wow.
And he goes like, "But I'm with him," and she goes, "You're an attendee, you can't go that way." And he's like, "Oh, what?" He goes, "Why?" It's just a bathroom. And she was like, "No, you're not an exhibitor. You can't do that." I'm like,
Really?
power of the exhibitor badge. If you could ever get one, do it. It's amazing. Get it an hour and a half before everybody else. It's amazing.
All right. Well, to start off the show, let's also introduce sound engineer Renee.
Oh, yes,
as
hi.
always, hello. Well, not always. Sometimes Emma's here, but she's
Yeah.
not
Right.
today. So,
Yeah.
hi, Emma.
Hi.
And
Why
hi,
would
Renee.
you lie to people? Why would you be that way?
I know.
Well, because usually it's like both of them, they switch on and off, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's a whole thing. It's great. It's great. But first off, let's start talking about some movie news, because as we all know, movie news is never controversial or aggravating or anything of the sort. But
Movies
I think
never.
we start off with a pretty good one. The Captain Marvel directors. Does anyone know the names off the top of their heads?
I
Yeah,
cannot
no.
remember off the top of my
That's
head.
what I have my phone for.
Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Yes.
Okay.
The last thing they directed was Mississippi Grind with
Okay.
who's the guy who plays the villain in Rogue One? Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn.
and
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds. I haven't
that's
seen
right.
it. I've heard
It's very
good
good.
things.
It's
Yeah.
very
Hey,
good.
man,
saw
Ben
it?
Mendelsohn is awesome.
Ben Mendelsohn is awesome, but he's not in Captain Marvel.
Well, never say never.
If
Oh,
only
okay. No,
you
you're
don't
right. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. That's
Also,
true.
he's already working with the mouse on
I was gonna
for Star Wars.
yeah.
He can go to Disney. I mean, he can go
Disney
to Marvel.
keeps people in house, as we
Oh
know.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, they seem like good choices.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Marvel doesn't
no
really
issues.
get bad directors anymore.
They get people who they believe in outside of Alan Taylor. I mean, I'm just going to call it as I see it.
No, he hated working on that movie,
I know.
didn't he?
Yeah, because he couldn't get along within the confines of what Marvel was trying to do, which is clear when you watch the movie.
Right.
I like the choice. I think it's different. I know that there's some contention on the fact that it's not a only female director for the project, but I think that we really undercut the fact that they've been a duo forever, and you undercut her as a female, as a director, that she's a part of this project by saying that she, you're basically saying, well, the guy is the only reason they got it. No, it's not.
Yeah, no, I think that's worth talking about at least. But yeah, I don't think it takes away anything from her as a woman director either.
Right.
No, I think
Yeah.
I think that.
But
it's
also, I just want to make clear we're all men. So let's just like.
Well, no, we are.
Take this with a grain of salt.
But-
'cause
Hey, listen,
we're not
my
going to speak for another gender.
I
Listen,
think
my
that,
penis is pissed off enough. Okay, that's not my fault.
but I think
Calm down,
that between all of
feminists.
us, we're always very much pushing for the diversity behind the scenes and in front of the screen.
Yeah, of course.
Which is something that people sometimes forget, that even though we are male, some of us actually want diversity.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I just think that it's a lot of really uncalled for nerd rage in which it's always what was it? Oh yeah, I can't believe that a woman's directing or anything like that, or oh yeah, she only got it because she's partnered with a man or anything like that. It's dumb. They deserve they've always been partners. Look up your shit before you start speaking. It's not fair and everything like that. Yeah, it's kind of like a non-issue, really.
And they've worked with Ryan Gosling a few times, which makes me wonder if Ryan Gosling could end up in the MCU now, which would be interesting.
I don't think.
Wait, Gosling?
I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
I thought they worked with Ryan
Or
Reynolds.
Reynolds, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
that
about to say
Deadpool cameo everyone talks about?
Gosling kind of seems like he wouldn't really sign a contract for like 12 movies.
Well,
Even though I wanted him to be the Joker, but that's a whole other thing.
That he should have been the Joker.
Him or Gyllenhaal?
Or the Riddler.
that would have been
Anything.
interesting. I think the Riddler
Anyone
would be
except
way
Jared
more fun.
Leto.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with. I need to see more. I need to see more.
Yeah.
I need to
Did
see-
you
I
watch
need to
the
see more.
extended cut?
Yeah, I've seen the extended. cut.
God, why
do
do
you
you
own
keep
it?
doing that to yourself?
I like how you do you own the extended cut of like BVS?
Yeah,
You own
yeah,
the
I do.
extended-
I do too.
I own
Oh,
both.
Okay, but in my defense, and
No,
this
I
is a-
get BVS appreciation. Suicide Squad's not even a
No,
movie.
Suicide Squad's not a movie. But I was just going to say, in my defense of owning things, I'm just a completist. Like, I even own The Mummy 3,
Right.
which is a terrible fucking movie.
No, there's only two.
Mummy
There's
3
only
is
two.
awesome
No,
because
fuck
it's so
you,
bad.
Diego.
No, there are only two. There's
the
only
Yetis
two.
play football
well-
with soldiers.
right.
It's awesome.
It
bad
doesn't
movie.
make sense.
It doesn't. That's why it rules.
But what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say,
Jet,
like,
you
I
needed
understand
money.
where it's like coming from, where you feel like you have to have it.
Yeah,
you
it's
have-
like a collector's.
yeah, and then you feel like you own it, so then you have to watch it.
Yeah, like season 6 of 24.
Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
honestly, the reason why I bought it is because it came in a combo pack because my girlfriend likes the soundtrack,
Well,
and it came with
I was
sound,
gonna
it
say-
came with soundtrack plus the extended cut and everything
Right.
like that for like $30.
it's a nice packaging.
and I got
And then
the-
she broke up with you because she's like, Nick,
Yeah.
why'd you get me this?
No, she was like, I love it. It's in her car now, and she was like, Do you want the downloadable version? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Right.
And so I got the movie out of it. So
By the way, they
She's too
have
good to you.
worked
I just want
with,
you to know that.
they did work with Ryan Gosling. It was Half Nelson, so I was correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
But I don't think Ryan Gosling is a really cool. He's a great actor. I just don't think he would sign like a contract for a multiple.
no,
movies.
probably not.
He just doesn't seem like that
No.
type. He's like Walking Phoenix, where like he just says no.
Does what he wants.
Yeah, he does.
Although,
he does the movies he
well,
wants.
he
to do.
was almost Doctor Strange, right? He just didn't want to do the
Joaquin. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
Joaquin just didn't want to do the whole like
CG
multi and shit
action
CG.
nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think you would have to
Yeah.
do in that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
maybe
just-
a little bit in that
Yeah,
one.
I think he probably wants his privacy too.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
just-
mean, he's picky.
I think that's really funny though, where it's just like, oh, okay, I'm down to do Doctor Strange, but we can't have any CG, and I don't want to do any of the action stuff. I just want a contemporary piece where it's just weird.
You know what? Find someone who could pull that off. I'd pay to see that.
I would too. I would
With
too.
Joaquin Phoenix, that'd be that. You know what? That would be a really interesting movie. No fighting, no CGI.
Renee, any thoughts? Are you familiar with these two?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Well,
Okay.
cool
So-
movie has a cool director. Hopefully, it all turns out well because
Yeah.
Brie Larson is great. Like her personal life,
She's amazing.
the Marvel streak of I forgot who tweeted it. The Marvel streak of casting actors who are their characters like continues
Yeah,
basically.
no, they're doing a
Right.
good
I
job.
love the thing that Downey said to because apparently Downey said to Feige, I hope we already settled her contract when she won the Oscar. Like he was like, "Oh, I really hope you settled that contract before," because their price tag just skyrocketed right now.
Well, it's okay. They have Ike not running the studio side of things,
Jesus.
so I mean, they
Which
can,
is why I'm excited for the all these choices now.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Well, Ike's still in charge of
Well,
TV, isn't he?
Yeah,
in
but
He's still in
charge
charge of TV.
and it shows because the shows are cheaper than the movies by a lot.
People get Subway sandwiches.
Yeah,
All the time. I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and just going like, what is up with all this Subway?
Oh no, for press events.
Oh,
They
for the press
would
events?
just,
Yeah.
they would just get
'cause,
Subway.
yeah.
Over the whole thing.
fine.
Let's
But,
move on to the next bit
yeah.
of news. Josh Brolin is Thanos. Did you knew that already? Because he's also Cable in
I hate
Deadpool
it.
2.
No, I
Right.
hate it.
What?
No.
How can you hate it?
How dare they cast him in 2 roles?
I thought you were serious.
No,
Oh, wow.
you know what? Josh Brolin is a great fucking actor,
Yeah,
man.
he is.
You know what? I think that he can play the shark in Jaws, man.
Yes.
He's fine. I don't get what all the fucking hate was about him being in 2 fucking roles in 2 separate.
See, that's like
universes.
legitimate
Well,
nerd rage.
Yeah, that's
yes,
legitimate.
yes, it is.
Where it's like
Okay.
you can't mix them up. How dare you? It's like
Right.
I don't fucking care. They're
Yeah.
two. If anything, you can always make them that they're different universes, and then you can even make a joke about it later.
That's
Well,
what
you
I
know
love. That's
they're
what I
gonna
love.
make
joke.
jokes.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
have to.
you can always
It's
make.
Deadpool.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing as in Legends of Tomorrow when Brandon Routh looks at Supergirl and goes, "You know what? She kind of looks like my cousin.
That was amazing. That
Yeah.
was one of
She
the
kind of
best
looks like my
things.
cousin." And like there's no connection at all, but it's just that's funny. That's really funny.
Exactly.
Sidebar: how good was Legends of Tomorrow this season?
Oh my god! It finally.
So
yeah,
good.
It's so
It's
good.
pretty
Really quick, if
interesting,
you guys haven't finished it, it fucking went on Netflix the week after.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
really?
all there.
It's
It's
on
all
Netflix.
there.
It's
Season 1
great.
and 2.
Oh, we'll have to see.
Hold
it
on.
finally lived up to everything I hoped
It was
for.
it was so good. The next week after that, I rewatched the season just because it was that good. Like
Kirk agrees.
Like,
Clearly.
let's not spend too long talking about it. But yeah, the first season really fun. Doesn't
Right.
really hit all the notes it needs to, but
Yeah.
really fun. Then
Right.
season 2, I think that's the best DC show
I think
right
it's
now.
honestly, I think it's because they stopped bickering. Like they actually became a team. Like
Yeah.
like because they actually became a team and they stopped fucking bickering.
Hey, Kirk's just so excited because it was
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, he's very
dude,
excited.
The finale was awesome.
Oh my
that
God.
finale was
Right.
amazing.
All right,
Just
let's-
getting back to
yeah, let's move
Cable,
on, let's move on.
You know, I thought the leads can't play. There's a thing in their contract that they can't play other
I
superhero
think-
characters. Or is that just
Well, Patrick, you might know more than me.
Yeah, so that was a thing that
Okay.
they've moved away from since.
I think it also for Josh Brolin's because he only has what 3 movies.
Well, yeah,
Give or
and he,
take?
clearly, I mean, I don't expect we're going to see Thanos again after Infinity
Yeah.
War.
Assuming
Which
he's
makes me
dead.
happy. Which makes me happy because I talked about this on podcast before too. Like I think Thanos is a one-off villain, a great villain, but he's not Darkseid. He's not the overseer of everything. You
it
know.
was actually really interesting because I don't know if anybody's played Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale.
no? I haven't
No.
yet. I need to.
First episode, you actually kill Thanos. Within
Really?
the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Wow.
That's
Like
so
it's
odd.
it's a not really. I mean, it's the first 5 minutes. Like literally,
Act
you
one
can-
stuff's not spoiler.
Yeah,
that's
it's not.
fine.
I mean, it's in the trailer too.
Okay.
Like the idea is you're trying to sell Thanos' body. Like that's the first episode.
That's great.
Because you're trying to settle a bounty, so you have to choose whether to give it to the Nova Corps or the Collector.
Okay.
It's an interesting episode. I really liked it,
Right.
and everything else. But I liked that idea of kind of going like, yeah, the big bad in our movies, yeah, he's dead first 5 minutes. Fuck that guy.
Right. But yeah. Thanos. Yeah, I could see him just as a one-off villain. Yeah.
It's the same thing with what was
Pat-
it with Ultron and everybody else.
Yeah. Patrick, what were you saying for the contract?
So I think this is something that, especially now that, again, we're seeing a lot of changes within Marvel since Kevin has really assumed power
Yeah.
over the studio side. And I think especially because they really wanted to work with Ryan Coogler, who was obviously going to bring with him Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, and in order to do that, you have to cross the streams a little bit. So, of course, they had to decide what they were going to do, and now they've kind of opened the floodgates to be like, you know what? We can share actors, we can do all that. It's not a big deal because it means we get talent. And it's much better to have talent than push them away because they've done other movies.
Not only that, but also I think it's really interesting too because it could be an underhanded deal too of you, which I will give you Josh Brolin as long as it fits around our shooting schedule, as long as and maybe we can get something in return.
I didn't think about that at all. Mm-hmm. I know Fox still has Galactus, right?
Yeah.
Or something happened there.
Okay.
Which are because they still because I thought the which are because Fantastic Four is
Don't get fired, Patrick.
No. This is not getting fired. This is. I don't know how much you guys want to know about Guardians 2.
Okay.
but there has been a character
That sounds like Galactus.
that
from Silver
was not Galactus, but Fox has a character that many fans have wondered if we were going to get to see said character in the MCU, who does make an appearance in the movie. I'll tell you guys off air if you don't want me to spoil it.
Yeah.
off
Okay.
air.
Yeah, tell us off
okay.
air, tell us
But
off air.
I think that there's definitely a lot of cross-pollination actually happening. I think the two studios are much more getting along than they were.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which is why I'm glad that Brolin got the role. Brolin's been my top choice for Cable for a long time. I just never assumed he'd get it because of the Thanos thing.
Honestly,
Is it Impy the Impossible Man?
No.
No, actually, you know what? The funny thing is, I actually really did want Brosnan.
Exactly.
I actually
Technology's going crazy. All
was
comes
it-
back.
I honestly did kind of want Brosnan. I really did like him.
That would've
I
been
love
cool.
the
That
I
would've
liked
been
the
cool.
idea of Brosnan, especially
I'm just-
if like he can give you like that kind of like because he could do cool. You know, he was a cool Bond. He was the very like slick Bond
Right.
and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like nothing really touched him, and I kind of liked that idea of like having him as Cable. You know, making him a little bit buffer though. That was about it.
But I'm just kind of glad someone got casted, so you don't see like every single other article was like so and so's rumored to be Cable.
No, now-
every actor
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
announcing
And I'm
that
sure
they
they-
want to
yeah.
play Cable.
Honestly,
now
they
every-
had to pick soon. They had to pick.
Yeah,
They
'cause
had
it was
to,
just
and now-
so much speculation that you just like, damn.
Now every article is whether or not Spider-Man's staying in the MCU.
For his Batman, then Cable, and now Spider-Man. And it goes on and on and on.
So I guess kind of on that note of crossing players in cinematic
of-
universes,
Yeah.
Josh
And
Whedon-
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not on contract anymore with
No.
Josh Whedon is doing Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yeah.
Which
is great.
I think is a great
This
idea.
is amazing. There's
Yeah.
wow. I wouldn't have expected it.
Honestly, he can do especially if he starts like kind of going into like mentioning the Bat family. Like you don't have to have Batman.
Super excited.
You don't have to have Batman. We can have like little Bat family stuff though, and he does that. He does that like family archetype.
Right.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like he can really do like pain and like there's issues that we have,
Yeah.
that other people haven't
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah.
And ex-lovers and stuff like that. Like if you want to do like the Barbara and Dick Grayson like storyline.
I want that so badly.
Like that would be really fucking
So badly.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just really hope that it's not the Killing Joke. I just that's
I
the
don't
only
think.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
think
yeah,
it's
I don't think
gonna
they-
be
I really-
the
I know.
Killing Joke. I think they'll mention the Killing Joke.
Yeah,
I don't
something
even
like
think they
that.
will.
At least
I
she
don't
was.
want
I
it.
think maybe she was paralyzed. Or,
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe.
want it at all.
I don't
Or-
either. There's a really great article, I think, from Donna Pearson about killing the Killing Joke. Like, great story for its time. There are issues there that people aren't addressing or not handling well. If they can be handled well, continue it. If you're not going to handle them well or address them in a way that's relevant and important to context, then don't even touch it.
Well, because there's
Yeah.
other things in the Killing Joke that people just totally like oversee, like just overshoot, like the idea that Batman kills the Joker at the end. Like everybody always goes
Right.
like, "Oh yeah, no, he
but
didn't."
Isn't that like
Just-
just a theory?
No, the writer even said,
Yeah,
he
okay,
kills
that
him.
was the official
There-
thing?
Alan
Okay.
Moore even said like, "Yeah, no, we killed the Joker."
Batman
at the
Well,
end.
Alan Moore is also crazy. So.
Yeah, Alan Moore's
Listen,
legitimately
he's a
insane.
nut job, but he knows how to write a comic.
Not anymore. Well, here, let's talk about Joss Whedon Batgirl.
I
That
was-
is the greatest thing ever.
I have to
basically.
say, I think that this is really interesting. One, clearly, like we said, crossing the streams, and he actually called Marvel and he called Kevin and he was like, "Do you care if I do this?" Like, so there's definitely understanding and respect there. The other thing that I think is interesting is this is clearly them trying to phase out Batman, because they know Affleck's not going to stay in the role and they don't want to recast it again anytime soon. So this is them doing Batgirl. They're doing Nightwing. Yes, I know you're excited about it.
Honestly, I think that would be really interesting, especially if you had a like a Death of Batman like storyline.
Yeah.
If you had a storyline where Batman dies, and Dick Grayson and the Bat, like I think it would be Battle for the
Dick
Cowl.
Grayson played by Michael B. Jordan,
like
obviously.
like
right?
Battle for the Cowl.
At
I
this
think,
point,
no, because
it wouldn't surprise me.
honestly, Battle for the Cowl would be a really
That's a
awesome
great-
fucking movie.
it would
That
be
would
a great movie,
great
actually.
fucking
Yeah.
movie. Especially if you've already kind of like if you have like a Batgirl movie and then you have like a Dick Grayson movie and you've already set up like the Bat family a lot more.
This is the first time I've been excited for the DCEU since like I heard about the Aquaman pitch, where it's like, oh yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Romancing the Stone with Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because like,
Also, Aquaman looks dope.
yeah, it looks cool. He looks cool. But that opens up the doors to so many
Oh
possibilities.
yeah,
And like, if
absolutely.
it happens, because at the end of the day, we don't know how it's going to happen, or if it's going to happen because there's a bad track record for these things. But the possibilities are exciting.
We have to also remember Matt Reeves went in and pitched a Batman trilogy knowing Affleck wasn't going to stay on. Like, we know that unless things drastically change over there, Matt Reeves has to know that Ben Affleck doesn't want to stay around. So the idea of doing something with the passing of the torch to Dick Grayson or something has to be a part of that story, right?
I actually wouldn't even
and
mind.
Batman's kind of old too.
I wouldn't. I actually wouldn't mind if you
Damian
did like a Damian story.
Okay. Oh my God, I knew it.
I was about to say it too. I was like, I really wouldn't mind a Damian story. Like if you had Talons and you had all those and you like
Court of Owls.
like a Court of Owls type storyline. I think that would be really cool. I think that Josh Whedon knows what he's doing, and I think it's a good choice. Fuck yeah, bring him in.
Heck yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I kind of want to move this around really quickly just to get the news out of the way. Let's talk about the Last Jedi trailer that happened. Gene, you saw it.
It's fucking terrible.
At Star Wars Celebration. Okay. You go first.
All right. So, we were...
Pretentious asshole. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we were trying to get our way to the live stream stage. And so, like, you know, it's like 30, maybe like 20 minutes away from premiering because it said 11. And we were all starting to go there, and as we get closer to the stage, everyone's starting to
stop.
Yeah, everyone's starting to stop. Everyone's like trying to like find a place, and like this was like 20 minutes before we thought we'd be okay, and like we're trying to get in. So you know we're getting close to the stage, and right in front of where we get stopped at, where we just the crowd of nerds just stops. There's a giant TIE fighter in front of the screen.
It was right in front of the Star Wars stage, right?
Whoever designed that did not think it through. But so anyway, so it's like 10 minutes away and we're in the same spot, and then like 5 minutes away and we're trying to like move, and we're getting like kind of the TIE fighter away, and people are just stopping. We're trying to go through. And maybe we get to a point where the TIE fighter is maybe a fourth covering the edge, so it's like, oh, fuck it. We're fine.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Fuck it.
We'll fucking do it live.
You know, so we'll just stay here. We could see most of the screen, and like, yeah, it was crazy experience seeing it. Like, all the fans were hyped. You know, it was a cool energy. Everyone was like, telling each other to be quiet, just to see it. We could hear the volume a little bit. People were yelling to raise the volume, but we saw it again.
But thoughts on the trailer?
Okay, so anyway, it looked really cool. Like it was a cool trailer. It didn't show like the whole story. It was very, very similar to the first Force Awakens trailer.
Yeah,
our buddy Brandon and B Money Rules did a comparison and contrast.
Oh yeah.
He added some stuff here and there, but for the most part, there's a lot of similarities, and I thought that was kind of cool.
It had a lot of similarities, like someone wakes up.
Music,
but yeah, it gave you a lot of. It gave you like it showed a different feel for what they're going for. It seems like, well, obviously darker, but it had a lot of like interesting stuff going on, like Luke saying that they should end the Jedi. Well, I assume it's Luke. Yeah, and it just left me.
It was.
It's Mark Hamill's voice.
Some people were. Yeah, but anyway.
Anything else?
So it left me just wanting to see more. Which if it's a successful trailer, then that's a feeling you want to.
Yeah.
See, my thing is that I was really wondering if that line of the Jedi should end was just something that they filmed for the teaser, like whether or not they recorded it just for the teaser.
That line's way too big to be a teaser line.
Well, because
this isn't like David Boyer dialogue. Yeah.
Well, no, because they did it for The Force Awakens as well. That entire dialogue
but that's not explaining. I mean, they're talking about the ideas in The Force Awakens.
I think it was clearly intentional because the idea is that they're trying to get people hooked into this movie. I mean, they don't need to, obviously. It's Star Wars. Everyone's going to turn up, especially after The Force Awakens.
Right,
and actually after Rogue One. Rogue One still kept its number.
Both have their detractors, but for the most part, the populace love those movies.
Well, and I mean, people clearly want to see more Luke, so people were already going to show up regardless off of the cliffhanger. But the fact of the matter is for 30 years, we've wondered what happened to Luke, and now we don't know because there's no legends. The legend stories are just that. They're just legends. Yep. And we haven't had any stories in the new canon yet of Luke.
The only problem inside the new canon is that they're telling stories about Luke, but they're very much in passing. There a lot of other stuff that's gonna like. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Battlefront 2 because that's supposed to be an in-canon story, and they're supposed to bump into Luke.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Else. And then also, in the Phoenix Squad book that's gonna be coming out in a couple of months, they're also gonna go over it. Phasma, maybe they might. There's a Phasma book that's coming out where they might explain how she got out of the trash compactor and everything else. I mean, all these books and comic books are coming out this year, and I'm almost positive they're going to show something.
Well,
because even in Aftermath, they're telling you
I think the plan is that they're going to do it, but they have to tell the story in The Last Jedi first, because I think that they want to go in with us not knowing exactly, because the idea is let's explore it now and then we can see what happened after the fact.
Yeah.
And I think that Clone Wars explored the idea of Grey Jedi and things like that.
Yeah,
and
like
that's
Ahsoka?
and so I think that that's exactly where they're going with this.
Yeah,
it makes the most sense to me.
Well, with with Clone Wars and also Rebels, they both kind of gone into that, like, you don't necessarily have to be a Jedi. You can be something else. And I think that that line, especially for the Jedi must end, is much more of what exactly the Jedi believe. Like we don't necessarily, what they've been doing so far has been a mistake. And what we need to do is we need to change format. We shouldn't not have attachments. That actually grounds us to the world. That, different techniques and different styles should go on. And I think that they're going to go more towards a different title for the Jedi. Like, it's not going to be a Jedi anymore. Just
Which
like
I think is crazy ballsy in a great way.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what it needs.
Yeah, because The Force Awakens criticism is that it's all stuff we've seen before, like this and that and this and that,
I want a fucking Bendu.
Yeah, like no, I don't even want that. No, I want something even newer.
Never seen.
Just the idea of the Jedi not being there that breaks down all preconceived notions of what we understand to be the unifying force, so to speak, of the universe.
The reason why I was saying that is because technically there isn't any more Sith. There's
allegedly,
allegedly,
but I mean they're not necessarily.
You just know they're saving that in their back pocket for one of the infinite sequels.
I think it'd be because
which is not a bad thing.
No,
it's
absolutely.
It's the same thing as you changing the name from the Empire and the Rebellion to the Alliance and the First Order. We have different titles for these groups and stuff like that. And I think that Luke's type of teaching now is going to be much more. I think it's going to be a lot fucking darker. Like, it's going to be very much like what has fucking teaching done for me lately?
I keep wondering if we're actually going to see Luke go to the dark side, because as far back as when Mark Hamill ever talked about the sequels that he knew of, anytime he was like, yeah, Lucas has talked about Luke just turning. And I mean, even if it is just to the point of just to understand what the dark side is, I would be interested to see what pushes Luke to that.
Well, in I know in the Legends comics, he actually does. He practices with the
with Clone Palpatine.
Yeah, that's the Dark Empire.
That's our whole thing.
It's a weird arc. Don't get me wrong. I know this. It's weird, but it did happen, and they do like pulling.
No, that's the thing. It didn't happen anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think if you make him go dark, like if you make him a villain,
you've seen him,
it really does. I think it really does
go dark at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's short.
That's how he. That's the only. That's how he defeats Vader.
Yeah, but
you got to really have a director and writer who could pull it off really well.
Yeah,
and thankfully Rian Johnson looks like he's gonna do that. Because just look at what he's like concocted visually, like the white,
that's good
sand dunes with the red streaks and the awesome what
did you guys think? What
vistas.
What did you guys think about all the complaints where they were just like, it's fucking Empire again? And
it's not though.
Everybody, that's what I was saying. I was going, I don't understand why everybody's going, it's Empire again. Like they were saying, oh yeah, they're fighting walkers on a sand planet instead of ice planet there.
But there's walkers, but I think
it's something totally different.
That kind of hints at what that sequence is.
And I think that's
without
fine.
spoilers.
I just wish that Rian Johnson had Thrawn in this movie. That's the only thing, especially because Thrawn is canon now.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rebels and thanks to his
such
novel.
a great villain.
I think Thrawn will go into dark space after Rebel season 4.
I think that's true, but that obviously means eventually Thrawn has to return.
Maybe, but Thrawn is an interesting character, but the only problem is you need to understand Thrawn. You can't just throw him into a 2-hour movie.
Well, that's why we have Rebels in a book. I mean,
but not everybody reads those and everybody watches it.
Well, that's fine, but they can go back. I mean, that's the brilliance
of
this canon.
You need to set him up too much. I mean, he's just such an imposing threat in the moment as well as long term that he can hop in and out, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as if you were to, throw Ezra or throw like Kanan or any of these other characters.
I think it's different though, because Thrawn doesn't need a huge epic backstory. He's scary because he knows what he's doing, because of his villainous personality.
I personally think Thrawn is either he's going to go to dark space or he's not making it out of season 4.
No, there's no way that they brought Thrawn in though just to kill him at the end of Rebels. There's no way, because Zahn has already said he's writing like 3 more books.
Oh, cool.
But I haven't actually read Thrawn, the one that just came out like 2
I'm almost
weeks
done
ago.
with it.
How is it?
It's fantastic.
When does it take place?
It takes place before Rebels. It really picks up with when Thrawn was first marooned, and they actually pull from Legends like his backstory of when he was marooned, it's really, really good, and it's set up for more.
How far into it are you?
Almost like 3/4 of the way. I'm really close to being done.
It's good, right?
It's
So,
fantastic.
We gotta move. No, we gotta move on. We're short on time.
I know. I'm just finishing after. I'm finishing
All right,
Aftermath
hurry up,
right
hurry
now.
up.
And I want to get into Thrawn after.
Yeah, get the aftermath
You
of
could
this
ask him
statement.
Hey, man, it's important. That shit's important, all right?
All right, so this is mostly for Patrick and I, but
Audible,
Fate of the
man.
Furious. We saw it.
I haven't seen any of the Fast.
Patrick
and
liked
Furious.
it.
fuck?
Nick liked it.
I liked it.
I didn't like it. Renee, did you watch it?
I haven't seen it, but
That's
you
good.
guys can go ahead and.
That's because
Okay.
that's because you hate good things.
I like every other movie in the franchise.
I'm
All of them, even
surprised.
the fourth one.
I love every single one.
I
See?
like
That's
all
the
of them but the
difference.
fourth one, but I'm surprised. I understand where you're coming from because we've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks about this movie and how you feel about it. And it's crazy because I think that it's doing all the things that we want this series to do, except it goes one moment too dark for you.
It goes a couple moments too weird
ones?
for me. It feels like, spoilers from here on out for Fate of the Furious. The idea that Shaw is going to be allowed into the family is not okay. Just
Well,
in any form. In a
he
story,
sa-
in a story sense, it makes sense.
Spoiler alert: he saved my baby. Of course, he's alive.
Which is an
now.
awesome action sequence.
That
the
honestly
John Woo
fucking-
inspired action sequence is the best thing in the
that
movie.
was that.
but he
that
killed
stole the
Han.
movie.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't care
Yeah.
about like producer notes and
Right.
comments.
I don't even watch them, and even I'm like, that's stupid.
You know
Yeah.
what? Honestly, but the
like
thing is that
these movies are dumb, but they're not idiotic.
you know what?
And I
But
feel
the-
that was idiotic.
But the thing is that I don't know if Shaw is a member of the family. It could. I think it's.
it feels like they're very much leaning that way.
I think-
F9, which is what I'm calling it until further
F9?
notice, can either course correct or explain the mentality behind it. But either way, in the moment
Well,
right now, it definitely
I
doesn't
think
feel
it
good.
explains it within this movie, though, and I just don't think it's enough for people because I mean we're still upset that he killed Han.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is within the film it's explained that Cypher, again we're talking about spoilers, that Cypher originally went to Decker and said, "I want you to do what."
Yeah.
I need you to do. He said no, so she went after Owen, which of course pushed Decker into the family because he didn't know they weren't working for Cypher. Of course, yes, what he did to Han was horrible, but for him, he didn't know that they weren't with Cypher. So for him, in the moment, he goes after the thing that to bring them into his path, and that's
Which
Han.
again, I think is weird retconning that it's just there to get Jason Statham into there, and I think it's bullshit.
Well, also they did mention. I remember they did mention between The Rock and Jason Statham was that Jason Statham actually wasn't a kind of a bad guy. Like
Yeah,
the
he
reason
was a
why they were-
military guy.
Yeah, he was a military guy. He had like what was it like the English version of like the Purple Heart.
Yeah.
But
like
this is
that.
the thing:
And
is that
the
this is
reason-
all just retconning
No, it
for
is.
this movie, and I don't buy it.
No, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Fast. Here's the thing with the Fast and Furious. They do that shit all the time.
and
But
I would
it's
watch it-
never
They always
betrayed
do
their
that.
own like
I don't
family.
consider
you know?
this retconning that much either, though, because we learn in 6 that Owen was in the military too.
Yeah.
So it's clearly that they're a military family.
Their jobs and what their
Their line of work.
line of duty and work. That makes sense. It's the family stuff that really bungles it up. Now we've talked about this
Yeah.
too. There's an interesting idea of the Shaws being a tight knit family to contrast the Fast family, and
Yeah.
that's great. But the way that they like bend over backwards and I think snap to work these characters into a lighter like. They're looking at them through rose-colored glasses because Jason Statham and The Rock are fucking awesome together,
Oh,
and I
they're
get
so
that.
good. That was
They're so
hilarious. They
awesome
were
together.
great.
I just wish the rest of the movie had figured out a way to balance that. Like they didn't have to do that to get them to work together. It would have been, I think, even more entertaining to have them try to kill each other once in a while still trying to save Dom and Cypher. You know, like that adds even more stakes.
Yeah, but I
And-
mean, at the end of the
don't
day,
know.
we know that Cypher is the one controlling it, so he has no
But
beef
that's
with
the
their
thing.
family anymore.
That's the thing. I think I don't like that decision either. You know, like if these were just a bunch of random, different like people with differing goals that were contrasting each other, that would add so much more excitement and tension to the rest of the
to
movie.
be totally honest,
they're all trying to get on top of one another and bam, bam, bam.
I kind of wish they would have added Lucas Black.
Yeah, there's no
as a
reason.
member.
Scott Eastwood sucks.
I love Scott Eastwood in this.
I'm sorry, Scott Eastwood. He's boring.
No, I think that he contrasts exactly what we expect in the series.
No, but I think especially if I think if what you wanted to do is you could have done, you could have brought Lucas Black back, and that way you could have really went into that contrast of Han.
Yes,
because that
which
way
is never mentioned.
Because that way he's being called upon because he's taking over what Brian and Han took, like what they need, and then what you do is then you can have a contrast because now he finds out that Shaw killed Han, and now there's a fucking thing that's going on.
And I think that's totally
that would be badass,
totally fair. But I just think we all know that that's not going to happen because let's be honest,
Black aged like 50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Lucas
He's way too
Black
old.
looks old.
When they had him in
really funny.
When they had him in Furious 7, they tried to keep him in the dark as much as possible so you wouldn't see how much he aged.
I will also say that
it is pretty funny.
I'm okay with Dom having a baby, but I actually think that's perfect for that character and with Elena the character, right? Killing her off, I think, was cold. Yeah, that character went through a lot in these movies. She got
kind of
nothing.
I thought it was really,
she got Jack Diddley. This franchise shit on her.
I did think it was really
that's
funny
harsh.
because my when I went to go see it, I went to go see it with my girlfriend and my parents, and everybody in the room was. I remember my girlfriend going, "Wait, so when did she have the baby?"
Yeah, no,
like
the
she was
timeline
like she was
doesn't add up.
she was really trying to put the baby where, okay, so how far away is 7 from 8? And
It's
then
not that
also,
far.
how far
It
away
can't
from
be.
6 to 7 is it? Because they didn't get she was really trying to put it together, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
it's,
okay.
It's
You
a
know
Fast
what?
and the Furious movie. Don't worry about the timeline.
I guess, you know what? 6 and 7 take place really close together because the post-credit scene is Han dying.
Yes.
From Tokyo Drift, which is so weird how they backtracked on that.
It's-
See, like
it's-
that's good retconning.
That's good retconning.
You know?
I do think that it was. I think it's maybe a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
maybe a month or so after, and then I guess Elena was pregnant when she flew out of the fucking window with Han with.
That's what it sounded like, at least.
Yeah.
Like she was pregnant, in which also I don't know if they know how miscarriages happen, but that's one of them.
No, she could have had the baby. She could have had the baby before that. The baby's not that old, but it's not that young either.
It's
So.
like 2 years.
Yeah.
No, not even. It's like 1.
Okay,
It's like a
so-
couple months. It's a couple months.
All
at
right, so
most.
Furious 7 takes place, like, let's say 6 months after.
Right.
All right, then
you go.
the timeline.
Okay,
matches up.
so-
yeah. All right, so let's move on. So this is a really fun thing that we do on the show, Patrick. Pitch a movie. We discussed it before the show. What we're gonna do is toss you some quick little nuggets of information, but the broad pitch is related to a space movie.
Giant spider.
Are you ready?
No, we're not doing a giant spider.
I'm telling you right now.
We've had giant spiders.
I'm telling you right now.
Nick, you can't say giant spider every fucking time.
Because it makes everything
movie.
amazing.
You can't say Adam Sandler because you've done that.
I didn't do that. You did. You did.
Oh yeah, you did, huh?
Don't blame
Okay,
me on
but-
that one. That was you.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay,
All right.
Gene, go.
Fucking
All right.
Adam
So
Sandler.
one
give him-
suggestion.
One suggestion.
Okay. I'm gonna suggest has to have.
Dude, you gotta have this ready to go.
Sorry. Okay.
Nick, go.
All right,
Gene,
just Nick,
go.
yeah, cover for me.
Serious? Come on.
I'm having
You don't
to
have
think
one
for it.
either, do you?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. Okay.
No. I got
Okay.
one. I got one. The whatever. It's a horror. It's a horror thriller. The space movie that you're doing.
Okay. Can it have horror thriller elements and not be completely horror thriller, like a creature feature almost?
No, I want.
Damn you!
You want it to be strictly creature. I mean, horror.
I
So.
want this.
Right.
I want this shit to be fucking alien.
I was about to say.
It's
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
be
Fucking-
hard for my suggestion. Damn.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, do it because that.
I was gonna say.
No, because you know what? Every single time I do this, you guys fuck me over. Give it to him too. No. It's gonna be the
It
hardest
has to
one.
star a corgi.
A corgi.
A talking corgi, much like the underappreciated gem of 2016, 9 Lives, starring
Dude,
Kevin
you sh-
Spacey.
Dude,
I'm just
God.
kidding. That
Oh
movie's
my
terrible,
God.
but I'm not kidding about the suggestion.
dude, you're a dick. Wait, hold on. Star is like the story is about him, or he could be like he could be a co-star.
It could be written for a human and just played by a corgi.
Yeah.
So Die Hard with a corgi.
That's fucking,
you know?
dude. Can we
Okay.
do that?
Yeah.
I need that
Please?
movie now.
Yeah.
All right.
Renee.
Fuck whatever you were doing. Die Hard with a co.
I was gonna say before you said your horror thriller element. I
love
was
you
gonna
too.
say like I want the protagonist to face like an alien army or something like that.
That
So
could
the
still be in
corgi
there.
has-
Could
that could still be in there.
The
I-
corgi in the horror thriller faces an alien army.
Yeah.
Yes.
He figures it out.
Okay. Has to star Kevin Spacey.
Jesus Christ!
Any any role.
You're a dick.
Oh God. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
So you
hold on.
just-
Has to star or Kevin Spacey has to be in it.
He has to be in it to clarify.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get some time to work this out in your head while we go over our next couple things.
The monster's voice is Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
The monster's voice is Kevin Spacey?
He could be the leader of the
No,
aliens.
he just said
Okay,
he has to be in it. He just said he has to be in it.
All right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so Patrick, get some time to work this out. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll plug some other stuff, other Jedi reactions from two really cool guests that Gene was able to swoop up on. Thank you for that, Gene.
I know. Good job on Ellis and Gore.
Yeah. Well, okay, it was going to be a surprise. People watching it and listening, Nick. Fuck.
You posted it on our YouTube already. It's
yeah,
already
but maybe
up.
oh my God. Okay, we're cutting now.
So hi, this is Gina Versta, Waffle Press. I'm here with Mark Ellis from Schmoes Now. How you doing, Mark?
Good to be with you, man. This is one of the highlights of my year. If I get to go to Star Wars Celebration, it's like the coolest 4 days of my calendar year. So it has lived up to the hype so far.
Yeah, it's day 2.
Yeah.
And
it feels like day 6, but it's only day 2. We've been doing a lot of fun stuff here, man.
Time change.
Yeah, right.
So Mark, The Last Jedi, just the trailer for it premiered a couple hours ago. What are your thoughts?
It's one of the ones we've all been waiting for. We knew we were going to get something we were hoping for. The teaser, what I loved about the way the panel did is they showed us the poster first. That was one of the coolest posters I have ever seen. They did a great reveal where you see the Rey part and then it expands to see Kylo and Luke. Pretty sweet stuff. And then the trailer happens. And it's so much to digest. It's such a different tone than the Force Awakens trailer, the teaser we got at Celebration 2 years ago. So I like what they're doing. They're taking the storytelling in a new direction. And hey, we got to hear Luke.
This is Gina Versa. I'm with the Waffle Press Podcast. I'm here with Chris Gore. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm at Star Wars Celebration. What could be going wrong?
Definitely. And Chris, we just been asking people just their reaction to the Last Jedi trailer. Just curious to hear your thoughts.
Well, I loved it, but I have also loved every Star Wars trailer for every Star Wars movie. I can't necessarily say that I've loved every Star Wars film since the original trilogy, but this trailer in particular I love because Luke Skywalker is in the trailer, and he speaks. Well, we don't actually see him speaking, but you hear his voice, so one can assume that we'll get to hear him talk. And I'm a big Luke Skywalker fan. You know, having seen the originals when I was a little kid, for me, Star Wars will always be about the adventures of Luke Skywalker, which if you read the movie novelization, that's what it is, the adventures of Luke Skywalker. So let's get back to that story, and I want to see what it's like for him to be sort of a fallen hero, right? So the trailer I thought was amazing for several reasons.
And we're back. Okay. We got to slam through this last minute stuff. But I asked a bunch of people on Facebook and Twitter for their own personal awesome mixes to celebrate Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 coming out. That'll be the next episode basis, but we wanted to start getting ready and excited for that. And Patrick's a lucky bastard who already saw the movie, but he can't talk about it yet.
No, I can because we're...
Well, no, you can talk about it after.
After okay.
This,
I thought you meant I couldn't in general. I was like, no, we can.
After we do the pitch and we do our quick mini reviews of movies that we've seen.
Okay.
But I want to read out some awesome mixes that I got from you guys. Our buddy at Brian Doki on Twitter says, number 1, Fleetwood Mac, Rhiannon. Jimi Hendrix, Castles Made of Sand, The Smiths, This Charming Man, Hootie and the Blowfish, Find the Time to Tell You, Tears of Fear, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'm going to put these up on the video as well so you guys can check these out. Gene, I'm going to hop over to you now before I go on to the next one. Okay. What are some songs in your personal awesome mix?
So 7 songs I chose were The Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, number 1. 2, Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. 3, Subterranean Homesick Alien by Radiohead. 4, Modern Love by David Bowie. 5, Feel Flows by the Beach Boys. 6, Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House.
Ooh, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and 7, The Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones.
All right.
So that's my awesome.
There's a lot of Jimi Hendrix apparently. At Landine 0816. It's not his first choice, but Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower, MGMT, Time to Pretend, Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime. These people have very good taste. I like all these
some
songs.
good fans.
Yeah, Arcade Fire, Sprawl 2. Okay, well, now I regret my statement. No, I'm just kidding. Prince, Let's Go Crazy. Nick, I feel like you're not ready, but I was going to hop over to you.
Honestly, I have most of it.
Right. You don't have to go all the way to 7. Just toss some stuff out.
What was it? I have, because, so In the End is one
The
of
Linkin
them.
Park. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that is
a
such
little
a
bit.
fucking Nick choice.
I know it is. It's
I
a
love
fucking.
it.
It's a beautiful.
Wait, what did
Nick
you
choice.
what did you choose?
In the
Huh?
end.
In the end by
Yeah.
Linkin Park. I love it.
All Star.
This is like.
Yeah, baby. Oh,
Did you find like your 5th grade notebook and just like whatever songs you?
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
love
say,
it.
I
I
said
love
it.
it.
I already said it once. Say it again. Fuck you, G. All right. Anyway, which I heard it through the grapevine. Sticky Fingers by what was it? Above and Beyond, and then Bohemian Rhapsody and Under Pressure.
Okay.
I was missing one, in which I'm gonna come up with one more before the end. But
That's
yeah,
a good list.
That's a hell yeah, especially if
Yeah.
there's a couple fight scenes
the
or
first
something like that. That would be pretty fun.
At Equiatic Bind or Equiatic_Bind. Hey Sean, awesome podcast by the way from first to last. Check that out. Hounds of Love, Kate Bush, Go Your Own Way, Fleetwood Mac, Life During Wartime, Talking Heads, This Charming Man, The Smiths, Sprawl 2, Arcade Fire, another one. The Less I Know, The Better, Tame Impala, Dancing in the Dark, Bruce Springsteen. Renee, you got an awesome mix?
I got a few off the top of my head. It would be Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence.
Damn it! Okay, so there goes one of my choices.
Yeah, one of mine was gone earlier.
It was in the end, right? I took that one.
In the end. No, it was All
It's a dope
Star.
song. It was, dude. That song is great with any movie.
It is. What else?
Schindler's List.
Okay.
That's the
All right,
only way to make it cheery.
Okay, Renee.
Let me see. Basically, it would be. You know what? I would have "What Goes Around Comes Around" by Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
I would have that.
You know what? That's a good song.
Yeah, and then I would probably have like "Everything I Hate About You" by 3 Days Grace. And I'm just going through my playlist right now.
that
And I'm
makes
like, which one
sense.
do I listen to the most? This is like-
You know, what about you're missing some Gaga? I
some
didn't
Gaga?
share any
Poker
Gaga.
Face.
Yeah, there we go.
I think I got some Poker Face going.
Y'all talk smack. Her music's catchy. So
It is.
whatever.
It is. You know what? I'll throw in "I See Fire" by Ed Sheeran.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that one.
That's what it was.
A couple Facebook ones real quick Ian Ojeda, Don't Stop Me Now, Queen, Nights on Broadway, The Bee Gees, I Want to Be Your Everything by Andy Gibb, Eric Calderon, Me and Mrs. Jones, Billy Paul, Dylan Sharkey, The Jim Carroll Band, People Who Died, Sloth Rust, 7:30 a.m., The Pack AD Build, Nathaniel Rateliff, SOB, TV on the Radio, Wolf Like Me, Jack White, Highball Stepper, Jimi Hendrix, All Along the Watchtower. Lots of Hendrix.
Lots of Hendrix.
Everyone likes
Yeah.
Hendrix.
Patrick,
All
what
right,
do you got?
you guys ready for mine?
Go for it.
Mine
Break it
would be "Across the Universe" by the Beatles.
Yes.
Followed
Oh,
by
Beatles, forgot about
"Life on Mars" by David Bowie, my favorite David Bowie song,
Yeah,
and
we're
"Long
talking about
Live the Starman." "Jukebox Hero" by Foreigner. "Sympathy for the Devil," the cover by Ozzy.
Ooh,
"Kickstart My Heart," of course, by Motley Crue. "California Love" by Tupac, because you got to have a little bit of Tupac love into this. And then "Cigarettes and Alcohol" by Oasis.
all right.
Good choices.
I did figure out what my last two were. It
Go, hurry,
was,
so I can go.
Which it's "Gotta Get You Into My Life" by Earth, Wind and Fire, and then also "Under the Bridge" by
Nice. Chili Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
I almost used a lot of Chili Peppers because they're very cosmic.
I love the Chili Peppers, and then I was like, maybe not.
Mine's less cosmic, but some of it's a very Diego playlist if you know me personally.
I thought the rules were cosmic.
No,
No.
not on
That
this
was
one.
the
That's why I went.
fucking-
That was nice.
That's what you texted me.
I
How-
didn't text
how
you.
dare you?
Well,
I
why
didn't
was
text you.
Linkin
just-
Park in there then?
Linkin Park is fucking
no,
cosmic
Linkin
as
Park's
fuck.
cosmic. Have you not seen the opening to Miami Vice?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, All right.
You had to
Kanye
go
West,
there.
Paranoid by Kanye West. Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Izzy. I forget how to pronounce the name. Nina Simone's Feeling Good. Memory Gospel by Moby. Frank Sinatra, This Town. I have to switch out my Depeche Mode choice. Oh, what did I have? I had it in my. Oh, shoot.
Is it just me or
It's
do
gonna
you?
kill me.
Is it just that Frank Sinatra? I always feel like can only be in like a crime movie. Like it has to be
Yeah.
some form of like a casino heist movie
Yeah.
or like some form of mob
That
movie.
or some
Gremlins
sort of
2
ironic
uses
comedy.
Frank Sinatra to a
Okay.
perfect effect.
Good point. Good
Okay,
point.
that's fair. That's
All
fair.
right, I'll just leave it at that then because my other choices are gone. So,
There you go.
Which ones were they?
Depeche Mode and Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I was gonna be
Were you really gonna put it in the end?
yeah
I was
yeah.
too.
because I thought of you and I was like that's
Yeah.
a Nick choice. I
The
want
three of
Oh,
us all
that's what-
had
yeah.
it. Wow.
That's wait. You also had it in the end.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So I switched it out at the last minute for Ozzy.
I was an angsty middle schooler.
You know what the funny thing is that in the end was my very first pick.
Wow.
Like right when I was writing the list, I was like, in the end.
Okay, Patrick, it is time.
Okay, so this is
Wait,
Gene.
do we have a timer ready?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
All right. 3
Really quick,
minutes.
do you have
starting.
do you have a title?
No, I don't have a title because you guys are the worst, and you only gave me 3 minutes to come up with this.
Okay, that's fine.
But
Go.
3 minutes starting now.
All right, so essentially, Earth has become a barren wasteland, and we have left Earth and moved to space because that's what always happens at the beginning of these sci-fi horror movies. And really, humanity is dwindling on the space station. So Kevin Spacey is trying to figure out a way to save humanity through cloning, but his cloning experiment goes incredibly wrong. And what happens is he creates a monster army of millennial zombies and cats. And he doesn't know how to control them, and they begin to wreak havoc on this space station, just tearing it apart. And they're lost in space. They don't know what to do, and now their space station is hurtling towards Jupiter on a crash course that if they do not fix this, they are all going to die. So the Corgi, named Diego,
Yes.
of course, is actually Kevin Spacey's pet, but he can talk because in this future, pets can talk. And he is forced to create an army to fight against these ravaging zombie cats and millennials that are tearing apart their space station as they're hurtling through space towards a horrible ending as they crash towards Jupiter.
Now, are the millennials riding the cats?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
That was like my big. As soon as you said millennials and cats, I was like, all right, we need cats.
And of course, the millennials, the reason I chose them as zombies is because, unfortunately, millennials are known for not being very smart, and for all the information we have, we don't use it correctly. So they're just zombies through life. And so that was why, when they were cloned, that's how they became.
I thought you were going to say because they found out that on the space station there wasn't a hot topic.
No.
How many people do you actually know that go to Hot Topic?
I only
Yeah.
go there for pop vinyls.
Okay,
At
so that was
least
your
12.
pitch?
Yes, that's
okay,
my pitch.
you had a minute left. Good. All right, so Nick, will you buy it? Yes or no?
Because my big thing is like what are they trying to like, what's their big accomplishment like I know they're just trying
the space station and
like
not dying.
but I mean like why are the millennials destroying it?
Right.
Like that was my big thing.
Well, because they're just zombies. Like you don't ask a zombie a reason to do it; they just are. They attack
So
things.
are the stakes like you gotta stop them from destroying it, or do you have to save the millennials?
No,
Or
because
just-
they're all clones. It doesn't matter
Okay.
anyway. Remember,
okay.
they're all clones. So stopping them is the number one thing. It doesn't matter what we do to them. They are just what they are.
So what's the difference between a millennial zombie and a regular zombie?
Regular zombies are smarter. They'd probably not destroy the space station they're on
Okay.
and just go after people.
I don't know. That feels more like a baby boomer zombie to me.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But
No, okay, but thank you. I'm so proud of myself for that one.
that was a really good one.
Thank
That
you.
was
Yeah.
good. That was really good.
But as the pitch stands, I would watch the shit out of that movie.
I'd at least watch it. You know what? I probably would
Make them baby boomer zombies, and we got
All right, baby
I'll
boomer
write
zombies.
it.
I will give you the baby boomers.
I'll probably wait until DVD. I wouldn't probably buy it.
You bastard.
I would.
Gene?
It's a red box.
I would buy it if you change millennials to baby boomers.
Okay, I will give you guys baby boomers.
Too
and
much
Buy the
millennial
movies.
well, I didn't do it because I hate them. We're
Oh.
obviously.
My question is
Yeah.
that does it crash into Jupiter, or does Kevin Spacey get to leave?
But that's spoilers, man.
you gotta,
You gotta
watch
pitch,
it.
Hold on.
No,
You have
see,
to
now
pitch
he has
this
to come
movie.
back and pitch a sequel.
Nope, you got to pitch the movie.
Obviously.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
want to
the-
pitch a sequel later.
And we'll need a title eventually as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss Photoshop so badly after this. Oh, my God.
I need that Photoshop now.
Okay, lastly, Renee.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't buy it, but I would definitely watch it though.
Okay. So
Okay,
we have,
I got all four of you at least to watch it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what matters.
Yeah.
I probably, if it was still Baby Boomers, I probably would have called it like Boomer's Revenge.
There you go. That's the title.
Kevin Spacey and
Boomer's Revenge.
On that note, let's start wrapping up really quick with like 15, 30-second movie reviews of movies we've seen recently. Nick, go.
Fast and the Furious, and it was the only one I've actually seen that I can talk about.
Go ahead.
Fast and the Furious was a good movie. I liked it a lot. I also was able to get to see Assassin's Bodyguard. That was really good too.
Okay.
Can't really say too much else about it, but yeah, go watch it.
Patrick, you're next.
All right, so you guys asked me to talk a little bit about Guardians 2. Guardians 2 is the movie that a lot of fans are hoping for. There's going to be some people who are left a little disappointed, but this is essentially the Empire Strikes Back of the Guardians franchise because, as we know now, it is a trilogy. James Gunn is returning to do the last film of his series. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of what you liked about the first one. It doesn't try to do a lot different while trying to do a lot different. It's very, very much The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. Gene.
I saw Colossal. That was the last movie I saw with Anne Hathaway.
I really want to see it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's crazy ideas. I don't think there's been a movie where it's like that before, where monster is, more about her than the monster. And I saw Ghost in the Shell, and that was fucking terrible.
I'm shocked, Gene.
Dude, I'm fucking shocked. I thought that movie was gonna be a fucking Oscar contender, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Renee, any movies?
I haven't seen any movies, but I just got done watching a Netflix show.
Iron Fist.
No, actually,
medal for
no.
that.
I saw
13 Reasons
the
Why?
13 Reasons
I
Why.
need to see that.
I figured it.
It's actually pretty good.
You got hooked on it?
Yeah, I got hooked on it. My friend showed me the first episode of it, and I binge watched it in 2 days. It was really good. Story's good. It keeps you in right after episode 1.
Speaking of which, we're doing TV shows. Dimension 404.
Okay.
I actually have really liked that, especially if you're a fan of Twilight Zone and and everything else. It's a really cool and also benefit. Mark Hamill is the narrator, and also he plays a couple characters.
If we're doing TV shows real quick, I just want to plug. I just recently rediscovered Clone High. It'd been a little while since I've seen it. A lot of people don't know what it is. It was a TV show that Phil Lord and Chris Miller did long before they did the Lego Movie or anything else. It's a TV show. It's like 13 episodes, and the creator of Scrubs worked on it with them too. So it's got a lot of the Scrubs cast members doing voices. It's a lot of people you guys will recognize, but definitely check it out. It's a ton of fun.
Go watch fucking Rebels. You
Yeah.
assholes.
No recent TV stuff. Just Legends of Tomorrow, like we mentioned earlier, was great. But the last movie I saw was The Boss Baby in 3D 4K.
How was that?
You know what? The first half hour is legitimately like fucking hilarious.
You know what?
And then it tries to be a real movie, and it sucks. But
So a
it's like an
typical
old-
DreamWorks movie.
No, it's like the designs and stuff. It's like old school, like Jetsons, Hanna-Barbera stuff. Like it's really visually inventive, and like how they portray like a kid's imagination. It's like wow, this is good. And then it just falls flat.
I totally forgot.
That first half hour is good.
Because I started just scrolling through HBO Go and just clicking movies, just because I was like, why not? And I ended up watching The Boss.
Oh God, with Melissa McCarthy.
With Melissa McCarthy.
Dude,
wow.
Peter Dinklage should really stick to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You know what? No, that's like reverse Boss Baby for me, but not nearly as funny. It's like, you know what? It's just fucking nonsense. Peter Dinklage is clearly just drunk having a good time. Why not? But
Peter
everything
Dinklage
else
is-
sucks.
Peter
in that
Dinklage
movie,
is
too.
Like Bob
Very-
Hoskins in Super Mario
Honestly,
Brothers.
Peter Dinklage,
drunk.
I very much feel like was just like, I have nothing else to do until Game of Thrones starts.
Basically. I need a paycheck.
You know what? I buy the
I
sexual.
really wanna buy
I
a
buy the
house.
sexual chemistry between him and Melissa McCarthy.
You know
though.
what the sad part was? I did too.
Right?
And I really liked that part. Like there was a couple
Where did that even come from?
There was a couple of like really good parts of that movie where I was like, okay, like this is it's not dog shit. It's a fun movie. Go watch it if you know
You
what?
could
Go,
do a lot worse.
honestly,
Maybe I'll
go
see it.
go watch it if you are like if you're having like a movie date or anything like that. It's good for the whole family.
Or if
There's a
you're
little
drunk.
bit of
It's
cursing.
not good for the whole family.
There's a little bit of cursing, but that's about it.
Okay. Anyways, Nick, plugs. We gotta go.
You can find me here, and you can also find me on my other podcast. Not that there's anything wrong with it. We're on YouTube and SoundCloud. Where we
Patrick.
You guys can find me on Twitter at PJ_Campbell, and you can find our podcast, Real Film Chatter, REL Film Chatter, on Twitter and Facebook as well, and on iTunes and Podbean.
And that will be available for those who listen Monday morning, immediately after this podcast, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, because we do it every Monday. So
Yeah. And I can actually make it this time.
yeah.
Gene.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram as Gene9892. On Facebook, my Facebook page, We Own Nothing Films, if you want to see some short films.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram and or Snapchat at Renee G. Bravo. And then you can also follow the store here at Undercity Comics, guys, at Facebook and Instagram at Undercity Comics.
Yes, please check out Undercity Comics. The reason we keep recording here is because they're the best.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a really nice shop. This is my
Yes.
first time here. I just want to say, like, if you guys haven't come in, it's a really nice shop. They got a lot of pop vinyls, a lot of comics, a lot of cool games. Come in and check it out. It's fantastic. So
Also-
good job, guys.
Also, they're corgi friendly. You can find me.
they are corgi friendly.
You can find me
we
on
are.
Twitter at Dago Waffles, President Diego. Links to everything on my Twitter at some point or another. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks, Patrick, for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me
Thanks,
so much.
Kirk
Yeah,
the
thank you,
Corgi.
Patrick.
And we have been
Thank you, Kirk.
professionally unprofessional.